Alright, so I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog, and this is our second Story Wars take in what may become, whatever you call it, a long lineage of Story Wars takes. But in this Story Wars take, the producer was trying to start to give me a bunch of crapola, and I said, just text me the videos and I'll do my own notes. I'll produce my own script. The dog don't like to work off a script. I think that's whatever you say, formulaic. The dog is not formulaic, but in this case, it was either going to be the producer's script or my script. And here's the problem. The man was drinking a lot of grain alcohol. He had a big, giant silver cup filled with ice and straight grain alcohol that he was chug-a-lugging. He finally passed up. He woke up the next day. He didn't realize it was grain alcohol because the ice had melted. He thought it was just water. He dumped it into my bowl, my water bowl, and I started lapping up grain alcohol. 2 seconds after I started drinking, I was like, holy shit, this is wonderful. You know, I didn't really catch on right away, but I could feel all of a sudden there was a tingle, a warmth in my tongue. I was lapping it up. There was a warmth all over my nose, you know what I'm saying? And before I knew it, I was shit-faced drunk. So I wrote, the producer was trying to tell me I had to do what he said, and I was I had a little chip on my shoulder because I was half shit-faced. Then I passed out. Then I woke up and I couldn't really read my own notes. And plus, you're trying to write. Dogs who can speak and read can't necessarily write that well. So this is kind of screwed up, but it is screwed up. That's how I'm beginning. The whole thing is screwed up, but the first thing I want to say about this take about Story Wars is that the skanks have come up with a way to make their friends always have to lose to them. The skanks have gamed this game. They've gamed the system so that they always win. And everybody else is set up to lose. Another one of the notes I said, a bullet point, is that they had some phenomenal guests on this latest episode of Story Wars. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 Story Wars episodes, I don't know. Kildoni was on there, Ari Shafir. Plus, Ari Shafir is a phenomenal guest, but I think he's a Jewish dickhead. I mean, I don't want to be anti-Semitic, but he's like the Jewish, he's like the hairy-chested, I don't know what you would say. He's just like a testicle exhibitionist. Ari Shafir, he's one of them Jews that should have gone into the porno industry. He should have been right there with that other fat guy who had the big giant penis who was in the porno industry. Then you have, I think his name was Dave Rappaport, the 9/11 counterfeiter. He said his dad passed away during 9/11 and he didn't. His dad was really over at the Tasty Freeze trying to, I don't want to say anything bad about his dad, but it turns out his dad was kind of messing around with some high school girls. He didn't hook up with them, but he was over there trying to flirt with some high school girls at the Tasty Freeze during 9/11. So Dave was full of shit. His dad wasn't really dead, didn't die in 9/11. Turns out he was, these girls, they maybe were legal in the state of like Mississippi. They maybe, in Louisiana, these girls would have been legal. But up in New York, they probably were nowhere near legal. So Dave's dad was whatever you say. I don't want to say anything bad about it. I think his name isn't Stephen Rappaport. I meant to say Stephen, not Dave, but Stephen Rappaport. I think his name is Stephen Razizi. I think he pronounces Stephen Razizi. He was that guy that was kind of a wimpus, weirdo goof. And he was in the league. And he may have been cut, but I think not. I think but this dude, they kept him in there even though it came out that he was lying about his dad dying on 9/11. But this dude, he always gets caught during the Story Wars thing because you can't lie. And I'm like, hey, all these humans are so stupid. How many hugs, stupid dog? He can't lie. Yeah, he based his whole career on lies. He's devious. He's portraying himself as a guy who can't lie, and it's all one big ruse. He's lying about the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? It's a double cloaked lie. It's a 3-sided lie. You know what I mean? He's convinced everybody, he always loses because he can't lie. This son of a bitch is a born liar. This guy doesn't know what the truth is. He portrays himself as a guy who can't lie, but he's a true blue liar. He's an aficionado, so to speak, of lying. It's all ruse, whatever. Dave Smith, a month ago, whenever the show was about to come out, Dave Smith, he was talking about how the show was going to be this, that, or the other thing, and that he was one of the guys that created the show. He invented the show. He was a founding father. Dave Smith was trying to sell everybody on the fact that he was a founding father. you know. But whenever they bring up, Dave, I realize that Dave was really not a founding father because Lewis claims Dave is doing okay. Lewis, he's always volunteering that Dave's doing just fine. Dave's got his own thing going. Dave's making all his own money. Dave is not really part of Story Wars. Don't cry for Dave, Lewis is always saying. I don't have too many more bullet points here, but one of the things I would like to say is, hey guys, get a bookshelf, okay? You're sitting on a throne of books. You're stacking up books in front of yourself. You're going to obscure yourself with these books. You know what I'm saying? We won't be able to see you from behind a wall of books that you're creating. And I think it's all a bunch of props, Pick a book. Hey, Lewis and Big J, pick a book that you've read before. I mean, I don't even think they're reading the Cliff Notes. I think somebody's they've got something in their ear. There's somebody's telling them about the book. I don't even think they even look at these books. They're stacking all these books up I mean, come on. I don't want to be a stupid dog that says something bad, but I'm like, it almost looks retarded. It's almost retarded, These guys almost look like a retard, you know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys, they they got books from oblivion. No one even heard of these books. Stop stacking up the books in front of yourselves. Eventually, you'll be hidden by all the books. The last thing I want to say is, this is something so I could prove that I actually watch this bullshit. And these are my own notes. It's not just a producer telling me what to say. There's a very funny part where Tony realizes he is playing a game that Lewis and Big J have rigged. Lewis and Big J have rigged the game so they can't lose. And at some point, Tony's not that quick on the uptick. Tony's not the sharpest bulb, in the drawer. He's not the sharpest utensil. He's not the brightest bulb. And, Tony's like, holy shit. But you can see right in Tony's face, he's like, holy shit. There's no way I can win. It's like I'm an idiotic moron playing a computer in a chess game. There's no way. I'm just playing it out till eventually I lose. There's no way I can win, And they've never lost. Tony gets this dumbfounded look because, he's like, hey, man, I mean, these guys have never lost. There's no way I can win. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. So Tony, he finally just plays along with it. He's like, I'm trapped here. I got to put up with this bullshit. These guys have roped me in, and now I got to play out the string, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Tony's building his brand. Big J's building his brand. Louis C's building his brand. Everybody's getting off on Story Wars, and the fans are absolutely enamored. I'm a young stupid dog, and I want to say this much. The fans are absolutely enamored. Whatever, it's all right.